Welcome to pattern making class. I'm your college instructor, Annette Julie, fashion designer and production pattern maker to the garment industry. And today we're going to be working on making graduated darts. We're going to put them in our shoulder position. And to do that, you're going to need your full scale basic front bodice, some paper scissors, pencil and pen, lots of tape, clear plastic ruler, some pattern weights, and your pattern paper. I'm using the Alpha Numeric, so it's really easy to go ahead and draw grain lines and right angles using this little grid system. So I'm going to start here in the front by placing a grain line. I'm using the little cross marks here to draw my first grain line. Now I'm going to take my front bodice and I'm going to match it to the front grain line and I'm going to weight it down. And that looks good. Let's go ahead and start tracing this off so we can get ourselves a nice copy. My neckline, my shoulder, and sometimes I'll put a straight ruler against the edge if I've used this block a lot and I have a soft corner. My armhole, my single notch in my front armhole, the rest of my armhole. Now I'm going down to my side seam. Now I'm at my waist, and I've got my notches down here for my waist dart. And we're working with the full scale front basic bodice. This is the one with the one dart at the waist. Don't forget to mark your apex, which is the point of the bust mound, and the dart tip. This is our drill hole and back off point. I don't need to mark that now. I'm good with the dart tip. Now before I lift this whole pattern up, let's make sure that we've copied everything. That looks good. Lift it up. Here is the apex. Here is the dart tip. Let's go ahead and connect our dart legs. And we can put another grain line parallel with the center front because we need another one now away from the center front. 1 inch. Arrows going both directions. And we are working on graduated darts. And this is going to be at our shoulder. Up in this area here. Well, we've got ourselves a nice copy. This looks really good. And we're going to start with the drafting aspect now. So from where your dart tip is, I'd like you to draw a line perpendicular with the center front. That looks good. Now, I'm going to carry it over to the other side. Let's make sure we have this all the way over. Great. I'm going to mark over 1 inch away from that dirt tip. And that's going to help me with my slash line. I'm going to draw a slash line to my center front neck, back to that mark that I made 1 inch away, dirt tip 1 inch away, connect that slash line to the center front neck. Now we're ready to draw additional slash lines. First, we're going to divide up our shoulder. This shoulder is 5 inches. So we're going to go ahead and mark along every inch. And we're going to divide this into 5 equal parts. One, two, three, 4, and 5. Looks good. Now we're going to connect them down to our slash line. So the line that is closest to the shoulder over here, to the low point of the shoulder. Okay, we're going to start with that one. And I'm also going to write and section these up. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to make those pieces come down to this slash line. We're going to draw lines that we're also going to slash and cut. Our first line in the 5 section, run over that 1 inch, and we're connecting this to the line that we made down here. Looks good. Now we're just going to draw even parallel 1 inch lines. Turns out to be a little bit more like closer to 7/8, so they're parallel. There we go. Let's make our next parallel line. And our next parallel line. A little bit under 1 inch. Now we've made all of the slash lines that we need to create our graduated darts. Each one of these will have a dart. 1, 2, 3, 4. And by graduated, what that means is they're going to end at different lengths. So you can see now how the angle is here. The darts are going to end up a little bit, but they're all different lengths coming down from the shoulder. Let's go ahead and start cutting out our bodice. And then if you've taken time to watch some of my other videos, you've noticed that we have several different methods of pattern making. And one of them is slash and spread. And the other method is pivoting, as far as transferring darts. So today we're going to be transferring the waist dart to the shoulder area and making a set of 4 graduated darts. And we're going to be doing that through the slash and spread method. Cutting up my side seam here. Gonna cut out my curved armhole, which you can see I take shorter little cuts in here to make a curved line. Then I might approach the cut from the other direction and then meet in the middle. Looks nice. Let's go ahead and cut out our waist. And I'm trying to cut right on the line or the teeniest bit to the outer edge. Cutting paper and training yourself to cut it accurately, it takes a little bit of work. So have patience. And we have one more cut to do, which is to take off the excess here, this is our center front. So this is the very center of the pattern. You go right down the middle of your shirt or blouse or dress. And we've cut off the center front. Now we're ready to go ahead and do some of the slashing. Removing the waist dart. Now we're going to come over and we're going to slash, and we're going to release the shoulder darts. We're going to spread this. It's going to be a really awesome pattern. First off, I'm going to go ahead and close that waist dart. Throw all the fullness up here. Okay, making progress. Let me go ahead and tape that waist dart closed. That looks good. Here's the rest of the center front. And then now we're starting the slashing process here. In the shoulder, great. Now we're going to take another piece of paper and I'm going to lay this down, and we're going to start to see the development of where we're going to place our new array of shoulder darts. Okay, let's grab that second piece of paper. I'm going to place this underneath. And we go first by taping down that center front area so we don't lose anything. If when you slash and spread your pieces come off this line, that's fine. My first one I did, it came off. Now we're going to go ahead and space these out here a little bit. I'm going to end up blending at the center front neck because it's dropped down. This is looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm just working on spacing each one of these I think I like how that's looking. Let me weight that down before I completely commit with the tape. Yeah, those are looking great. Let me tape down the first area, which could be a little bit larger than the rest, so I'm spacing that. And let's see how far I've spaced this apart so you guys can have an estimate. So here it looks like I've done this about 2 3/4, the spacing. And then the second one, there we go, that's going to be much smaller. I'm going to sort of work on the rest of these being a little bit more matching. That one's about 1.5 inches. I think I'll do this one about 1 1/4, the next one. Let's tape that down. And depending on your block size, your dart widths can come out a little bit different than mine, but I'm just giving you an estimate so you have something to go by. That's looking pretty nice. Tape that down here. My last spread, about 1 1/4. So 1 1/4, about 1 1/4, about 1 1/2, and that last one is about 2 3/4. And then right here at the front, look at this, the neck doesn't connect. You have to re-blend that neck. You can always take your basic bodice, lay this back down again, and trace that neckline off. Trace off a little bit of the front there and use it to blend back in. It's a very small neck, so as far as designing goes, I would drop the whole thing down or open it all up, but we're just working on our graduated darts right now. Oh, that looks great. And you notice you have a little triangle of space here, and a big long fisheye of space here. And then here we are working on the shoulder. Tape everything down so you can start placing and drafting in those darts. This looks good. Now, we don't want the darts to be as far down as they go to the style line. Look, here's our apex, and we want things to be backed off from the apex. So I think where the first dart is, I'm going to back that off. I'm thinking about 2 inches. Okay, and then the next dart, it should come up. So from that space, I'll think I'll be up about 1.5 inches. I'll bring this one up a little bit more. And then again, another little 1/2 inch. So what I've done here is I've created a line parallel, but away from that slash line. And then we're going to find the middle of each one of those spaces now. And we can draw our real darts that we're going to sew. I'm going to draw this up to the shoulder. And our next dart from the dart tip up to the shoulder. And our next dart tip up to the shoulder. We can put the back off points on each dart, back a 1/2 inch from the tip. That's where we would place a drill hole, which is a little mark that you sew past. We've got our darts now in the shoulder. Now, this whole area could be handled several different ways. You can make a cutout dart and several folded darts, or we can make them all folded darts. So I'm going to go ahead and make these folded darts, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of tape on the bottom before I fold them. A little bit up there in the shoulder. I also can trim some of the paper that's in the way and that I'm not using. That looks great. Now we're going to go ahead and put some seam allowance on, but you're going to need to watch the next video. This is Annette Julie. Look forward to you checking me out in the next video.